Hey everyone, it's Santi here. Welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't been on here for about a month, but I am back. June and July with Pride Month and everything else happening was super busy. And as you've seen probably on socials, there's been tons of initiatives and events and funds and all of that, but that's all been wrapped up more or less. So I am back to share with you all more of my style and makeup tips. And hopefully starting in August and going forward, I'm going to be having guest speakers at least once a month so they can jump on here and share their experiences with you. So I know that the most popular video at the moment has been binder sizing and binder info. The binder review one is doing quite well too, Spectrum Outfitters. So I know you all are really keen on learning more about binding. I also though want to kind of branch out because gender swap initiatives, I think like binders take up 2% of what gender swap does. There's so many outreach initiatives and resources and things that I cover, and I really want to kind of expand and branch out and share more with you all. So today I am super puffy from hay fever or change in weather, and I'm a little bit greasy, and I thought that today would be a perfect day to talk you through my everyday makeup tutorial. I identify as transmasculine, so the makeup that I wear and the way that I like to describe it is a more sort of masculine leaning androgynous makeup for myself. But of course this tutorial is for all genders and all expressions, and please just use or take from it what applies to you. This is basically a makeup look that I use on the daily to bush out and thicken my brows, to chisel my face out a little bit more, and yeah, that's about it really, and to keep my skin looking nice and healthy and hydrated. So let's get into it. Okay, so before I even start off with any makeup at all, I'm gonna put some sunscreen on my face because now that it's summer out, I mean, actually you should be wearing sunscreen 365 days of the year, but if you want to choose a period of time to wear it more frequently, then that would of course be the summer so you don't get skin damage. Ideally, you should be using a sunscreen that's meant just for your face, so there's lots of skincare and makeup lines that do a special SPF just for the face, which I usually use, but I ran out of that. So today, I'm not really advertising it. I mean, I use it once in a while, but warning, it does make you break out because it is meant more for the body. I'm just using a 50 SPF sunscreen lotion. Of course, don't spray it, even though it's a spray bottle, directly onto your face. Spray it onto your hands and then apply it. So I am always swiping up from the neck, of course, up to the forehead, and then you just want to press it into the skin. So you might want to wait a couple minutes for it to really absorb. Now you see that I'm not really pulling really hard under the eye. You don't want to really like stretch and pull or irritate the skin. So just press it in, dry it off. All right, okay, makeup. So to begin with, I like to chisel myself out. I'm gonna be doing an entire episode on Jecca Blac makeup. For anyone who doesn't know Jecca Blac, it is a makeup brand based in the UK that's a trans-inclusive makeup line. So a lot of their makeup actually focuses on making them more accessible for trans folks and also kind of catering to trans folks. So for example, I've got the Correct and Conceal palette that actually Jecca Blac sent to me. So thank you, Jecca Blac, if you're watching this. This is in the medium shade, and you'll see, I've already used a bit, so it's a little bit messy, but you'll see that there's a beige and a pink. The pink is used to cover up any, let's say, beard shadow or kind of any darker shadows on the face. And then the beige would be used on top to neutralize the skin. I'll do a whole other tutorial on that. So for today, I'm gonna use the beige, and I'm gonna use it to actually sculpt under my cheekbone. So I'm gonna grab a foundation brush. I've got a little mini one here. Any kind of brush with synthetic fibers that's flat is perfect. You wanna dip it in, feel where your bone is, and then chisel, draw a line sort of downwards. All right, follow that on the other side. So you'll see a bit of a line there. And then also, if you want to do a little bit around the jawline this way, around the chin to give you more definition, you can go ahead and do that. You want to take another fluffy brush and you just want to blend it in so you don't see any lines. Okay, so that's really subtle, but it's really quick. Like I said, this is an everyday makeup. So this is a makeup that I do within 15 minutes before I run out of the house. So I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush, an angular brush next. Sorry, I keep itching my face because I've got like so much dust floating around, or I don't know if it's like hay fever stuff, but it's really real right now, so bear with me. So I've got a dark blusher from M.A.C. But of course, like any name brands that you like, even if you're just a makeup beginner, I would start off at Superdrug or kind of any drugstores local to you and pick up a couple items to experiment with. So what you want to do is you want to grab the angle brush and then sort of pat over where you put the concealer to darken it. So I'm sure you can see now that that line is starting to show up. You can do it in the temple as well. So I'm now going to go over it on my jaw as well. So if you want to follow along with me, let's go for it. You've got your contouring done. For anyone who's interested in me kind of digging in deeper into every stage of this makeup, please comment down below what you want to see and I'll create more episodes surrounding that specific technique and facial feature. So I usually like to do a little bit of blush because I like to be more have that sort of flush look. So what you want to do is you want to put the blush on the front of your face. If you smile a little bit, you can see where your apples of your cheeks are, and you just want to brush a bit on there. So as you can see, just from those two things that I've done, mixed with obviously my skincare and my sun cream, like you can already see that I'm starting to kind of glow a little bit. You can see there's a little bit more shape, a little bit more color. I think my eyes are starting to pop a bit more. It just kind of adds something, but it's not necessarily too heavy. And I think that this is a look that spans all expressions, right? There's nothing particularly masculine or feminine about this look. Okay, so lastly, I'm gonna do my brows, and the brows are always a really tricky one because people think that you just have to use one product, but usually like two is better, even sometimes three. What you need for doing your brows is good precision and an idea of what kind of shape you're going for, as well as where you want to fill it in. So if we get really close up to my brow, we can see that I've got quite a bit here in the front, and it tends to thin out towards the end, and it's a little bit thinner. Now for someone who wants more of kind of a bushier brow, I kind of want to look at filling above here and maybe a little bit here as well. So to make this part thicker, this is from years of over plucking. I've done a lot to kind of grow in a little bit here, but there still needs there's a lot of work to go. So I just take a dark brown eyeshadow. I just use, this eyeshadow palette is falling apart because I've used it a lot. It's that one there. But basically what you want to do is go for a shade lighter than your natural hair color if you want it to be natural. Of course, if you want to play around and do blue brows, blonde brows, whatever, ginger brows, whatever floats your boat, then go for it. So you'll need an eyeshadow or a gel if you've got one. I don't, I use eyeshadow only. And an angle brush. And what you want to do is you want to dip your eyeshadow or dip your brush in the eyeshadow. And you want to use the angle of the brush upwards to line it up with your brow when you're filling in the front part. So let's go and do that on both sides. Okay, so I've done the front part. You can see that they're much darker. You might want to use this kind of motion to make sure that all of the shadow is pushed through the brow. And in the front here, you might want to use this back and forth motion as well to kind of diffuse the line so you don't get a hard line from this brush right there. So you can see it's pretty fluffy. So what you want to do in terms of creating the shape and filling in the ends is you first used your brush this way, right? But now you're going to flip your brush and use it that way. So basically, you want to take the point and align it with your brow, and then you're going to draw over. So from the underneath and over. So for a more like mask look, you kind of want to avoid doing the arch. So you want to go straight across and over. Okay, so you can see the difference already between this brow and the end of that brow. So that one's thinner and kind of sparse. That one's much thicker and drawn in. What I'm going to do now is kind of go above and create a thicker line. So I'm literally going in and drawing in where there's no hair. And matching it to the front part there. So you see I've got like one big bushy line compared to this side and then that side. So if you see little gaps, see I can see a little gap there, just go back in and fill it in. Don't worry if you can't get it all, because you're gonna get a brow gel and that is gonna do the rest. Next, I'm gonna go in with a tinted brow gel. You can either do clear, but tinted kind of makes it bushier and it makes it, yeah, more dense as well. I got this from Superdrug. It was just a couple pounds, so it's lasted me a long time. This is an ashy gray. They've got brown. I've got a blonde one as well that I kind of alternate between. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the gel and brush upwards. So that defines the hairs more. And just adds a little extra something. It actually makes it look more natural because it kind of blends in the eyeshadow. So that's that side. And this is the side without the gel. So there's a distinct difference. Last little sort of technique, if you want to do something a little bit different. I know that eyebrow slashes are like a really big thing. People are shaving little lines in. I love that look, but I actually don't want to shave my brows. I just don't have the guts to do it. So what I do, take a bit of concealer, pat it onto the back of my hand, take another angle brush, a different one than what you used for your eyeshadow. Which one is it? There we go. Oh no, I think it's this one. Okay. Dip it in. Now figure out where you want the line and just pat the concealer on. How real does that look? Like, come on. Why would you ever just cut your brow when you can just draw it on? To make it last a bit longer, you can get some clear powder and just dab it on top. This doesn't necessarily last all day, but it's a cool look for the time that you have it in the day. There you go. There's my eyebrow slashes with my bushy brows. All right, everyone. I hope that this helped you, this inspired you to go ahead and try out new makeup techniques at home. If you want to see more of this, if there's any topics that you want me to cover makeup-wise, please comment down below. I'm going to be bringing you weekly episodes again, so I'm happy to cover anything that is requested by the community. If you need more makeup resources, you can head to www.genderswap.org, and under resources, I've created a makeup style guide. There's a summer style guide, winter style guide as well if you need like style and makeup tips. Head to the Genderswap TikTok where I bring you more tips. Just go click on all the platforms. There's resources everywhere. There's so much stuff. So I hope that you are feeling inspired and empowered to be whoever you want and to wear whatever you want. And on that note, I will see you next week with more style and makeup tips. Take care, everyone.